What's up, everybody? Renfell here. Hopefully, you're all doing well. Today, we are continuing the Inkarnate tutorial series with this episode on territories and kingdoms. Now, this video is going to be one that strays a little bit outside of just the map making side of things and dives more into the existential, world building components of your tabletop world, which you may or may not have already written down somewhere. And we're going to discuss all of those things in today's video so that you have a better idea of what's the best way to approach this when I come to actually laying this stuff out in my map. If you've been following along the series, welcome back. Thank you so much for the support. Thanks for tuning in. But if you are new here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update as we continue to do this tutorial series and beyond, the live streams, all the other things we do here on the channel. Check out all the playlists. If you can support, it's awesome. There's membership options here on YouTube. You have super thanks on uploads, super chats, and stickers on premieres. We do have a Patreon page for our tabletop world where you can get our map packs for our campaigns. They're also agnostic, so you can download those and use those in your chosen VTT. If you want to pick those up, if you're a Patreon subscriber, you can. There's a Discord. Links are down below. Let's dive in. I'm going to go ahead and switch the camera off like I usually do so that you guys can see all of the tools. So for those of you who want to see my face, I'll try to remember to turn it back on at the end. But for now, we're going to pay attention to the more important part, which is um, the map here. Hang on. I had to get my bookmarks turned off so you guys don't get spammed by all my stuff here. Let's go ahead and switch over. All right. So, previously, we've come in here and we've laid out pretty much all of the geography we're going to do. We've added forests, we've added mountains, we've done rivers, we've done islands, we've done all sorts of things. We've done the city placement. We've done everything we can. The only two things left are the kingdoms and territories, which we're going to talk about today. And then beyond that is going to be the texture painting, which is going to be the last thing we do. Now, when I say texture painting, I'm making a map that actually shows the geography of the world. So, you're going to see like up in the north, it's, cooler and has a different color. We're actually going to paint that more when we come in and do textures. So if you were going to do your kingdom map in a way that separated the kingdoms out by colors, where you painted on a color onto the map, matter of fact, let's take a look and see if there's any maps that look like that, just so we can explore what that looks like for everybody. Let's look at world map, and we want to look at the fantasy world style. So let's see if anybody has done that. We've got a lot of geographical maps here. I don't see any where they've actually painted on kingdoms by colors. So that's actually a good thing. But it is a way that you could do it if you wanted to. We could come in and it's kind of like certain fantasy books will come in and it'll have kingdoms like this kingdom purple, that kingdom's orange, so on and so forth. That's kind of what I was getting at. Um, I'm not seeing that there, so we don't have to cover that other than to talk about it briefly in the scope of this. So if you were doing it that way, you wouldn't necessarily need to worry about your texture painting because you would have the kingdoms painted off in different ways. But let's assume that you are going to use texture painting because that's what we're doing in this map, and you want to have your kingdoms laid out. Now, the easiest way that I like to do it is you use the same tool for your paths. But before we used the dots, which, the dashes, I should say, which signifies the road, you have two options here. You can come in here and do a solid like this, or you can choose to use the dot system like so, right? Now, previously we used black to put down the paths. So if we're going to define our kingdoms, we'll probably want to stick to that, um, the white, because it does differentiate. We could change it to whatever color we wanted to. We have a whole color palette here, but that's just an option. But I don't like how those are way too big. So let's go ahead and bring this down to like 5. That's not bad. Bring the opacity all the way up though. Um, and I'm going to do a test run here just to see if I like the way that that looks. So let's say we wanted to make this entire section from here. Well, let's actually just take it from here. Let's say we want to make this a kingdom. If we wanted to, we could just say that this was the delineating factor would be here. Let's do it along the edge of this forest. We could go like this. And if you're happy with the way that looks, that might be those might be too small. So maybe bring that up to 1. That looks a little bit better. So we can say 1. And then all you have to do after that, once you've divided that up, you come in here, you go back to your stamps, and there's a few ways to do this next part, because you want to be able to define what what kingdom this is. So I say stamps because I like to do something a little bit different. But one thing you could do is you can come in here with the text and you can plop a text thing down and you can say, name of kingdom, right? And you could choose to have it just like that. Right now, you can adjust the size of this. Obviously, you can do all these different things. You can spin it around if you need to. You can do all the different things you need to. You can turn on a shadow like so. Um, have the opacity up. Change the different styles of fonts. What do you want here? Just going through now. You have all these options for fonts. Where did that one go? I kind of liked that one right there. That's not bad. So for the purposes of this map, I don't know what I'm going to name the kingdoms yet, but we're gonna say something like this: name of kingdom, right? And then from there, you could then choose to further define it and come up with your names, but you don't have to do that right now. You can just put name of kingdom if you don't know what those are yet. But let's say we want that bold. I don't think I need to have it bold, so we can just put it like that and maybe bring the size down to 20 like so. All right, now the other way to do this is you can go into the stamps and you can combine it with the text. You'll notice here there are these things right here, these legends, and I want to see if they've got it broken down. Sometimes they do. But here's a couple of legends we can use. There's a title plate and a legend, right? Here we go. Here we go, right down here. These are the sets under the decorations. So we could choose a style that we think we like. Maybe this one. And under that one, we've got all these styles. So we would come in here and we'd say, why don't we just go ahead and choose this one right here. Now we're going to plop it down. Now there's some stuff we haven't considered yet, which we're going to talk about here. We haven't done an episode on layers yet, but you see how the trees are bleeding through there? And that's because we've got this on the first layer, which is the same layer as some of the trees, but those trees happen to be on layer 2. So if we bring this up a layer, it puts it on top of those trees, like so. Put it down, starts going behind. But we want it on top of. Now what I usually do is I usually place this at the very top, layer number 5. And then text of kingdom, we need to bring that up as well, um, like so. Okay, we'll go back to the legends. Now we want to make this to the same size as the somewhere in here, and you get to define how you want this to be situated within, right? But you can essentially do this. Then you can come in here and we can further manipulate this down to get what you want to see. Something like so. And you can take these two, put them together, select them over here, and now we can move them around. And we can there's a trick I'm going to teach you. So if you've chosen to do it this way, we're going to do that, and we're going to copy this and we're going to paste it up here, and we're going to leave that alone for the minute because we just want a template is what we want. You can do the same thing if it's just the text icon as well. All right, if it's just the text and not the actual background as well, do it that way. So let's go ahead and come in here. For the final map, I want to reiterate to everyone, the final map that I'm going to make available in the public is not going to have the kingdoms defined on it because I don't want to define kingdoms on that map because it needs to be agnostic so that people can download it and clone it and they can put their own kingdoms on it where they want. But if I were to come in here and say I like this one, let's go ahead and repeat that. So let's say that that's a kingdom. We could have this entire region be a kingdom, so I don't even need to put anything there. Matter of fact, if we wanted to make this really simple, here's what we would do. We would take this, we would get rid of it, and we would take this, and we would say this right here. Oops, I used the wrong ones. Where's the text name? There it is. Sorry. I had to make sure I had the right two selected. We're taking that, which okay, this is that's that kingdom. All right. Then we've got this kingdom, which we're going to bring down here, and we might make that smaller so that we know that that's down here and that's up there, right? Okay. Now maybe we've only got a few kingdoms, so maybe we do that, and then we come down here, and we do another one down here, and that's this. Okay. Then you could take that, and just keep repeating that process. Everywhere that you need a kingdom, you could choose to do that. You might even have there be two kingdoms. I'm going to have to move these separate because the way that works. So let's just say maybe we've got one there, and then we put another one here. Right? So we've got two kingdoms there. And maybe this is the ancient kingdom of blah, which no longer exists. Remember, you can replace these names as you want. And then we definitely have one over here. Like so. Anything else? Maybe we have one up here. I don't know. Okay. So this is the beauty of laying out your kingdoms is you can choose to have things like this, and then you just resize it as you need to, and then you go through and you mark out if you need to make delineating lines. You could say, okay, the line that separates these two, bring that back up to 1, that needs to be white. Gosh darn it, there we go. And we would just say that maybe the line that separates these two is right here. I mean, there's lots of different ways we could paint. So we just say that's a line. Maybe the line for these kingdoms is along this river. Maybe the line for this one is right along here. We can put those lines wherever we need to define what our kingdoms are going to look like, if that makes sense. But let's go ahead and get rid of those for the moment. You don't have to use the lines if you don't want to. You can just lay it out the way I've done and kind of leave that more up to the imagination. Or you could have that be something where if you know how those are laid out and you're playing with people, then you can define that along, say, this northern kingdom, this one right here, ends at this river. So the separation between these two kingdoms right here, let's just call this uh, the northern realm, and we call this, hang on, it's not wanting to select my text. Give me the text. No. This is where it gets hard because if you don't have them, I need to get it. Come on! There we go. And we call that the Forest Kingdom, right? Move that back over. Come on now. There we go. So if we know that this is the Northern Realm and this is the Forest Kingdom, then we just make the river the border between those two kingdoms, and this could basically extend all the way down to the peninsula. So that, in a nutshell, are a variety of ways that you can lay out your kingdoms depending on your chosen preference. Now, to make this look good for the screenshot, I actually need to come in here and do like so. Oh, I'm not, there we go. I wanted to, oh, and I'm moving the map with it. This is when things can get tricky. Unselect the path, there we go. Sometimes the selection of things can get a little bit chaotic when you've got tons of stuff on the map, if that makes sense. And then here we want to take this one and make it a little bigger as well so that we can come out like so and take a screenshot of what we're working on for the thumbnail cover of this video. Anyway, that's my stumbly dumbly way of showing everybody that's how you can lay out kingdoms for your map. Again, the final map that I'm going to be making available to the public will not have kingdoms defined on it, but we are going to have textures. So that's the next video. It's the final video in the tutorial series is going to be the painting of the textures. And beyond that, we could always add more polish, but one of the things you have to learn as a creative is when it's done and just leave it alone and let it be its own thing and then move on to the next project, which we're going to be doing soon. So if you like all this kind of stuff and you want to get more of the same, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update in my ongoing Inkarnate videos. I had somebody reach out to me recently and asked, am I available for commission? Sure. I'm available for commissions. Everything I've been doing the last 2 years is for us, for the things that I work on with our company. So the Wandering Hermits LLC, that's the world map to our world. We have a tabletop module. We have map packs. We're working on the next module right now, which is like an adventure path if you've ever played Pathfinder, or it's the campaign modules if you've ever played Dungeons and Dragons. But we're working on the next module for our world right now, and I do all the maps for that. But yes, I am available for commissions. If you want to know more and you want to hire me out, just send me an email. You'll find it here on my YouTube page, and we'll go from there. If you want to support the channel, the easiest way is to either go over to our Patreon page and pick up a copy of our source book and the first module, which come together in one book. You can also get all the map packs if you're a subscriber. There's a point and click adventure game and a book series as well you can sink your teeth into while you're a member over there. But you can also join as a member here on YouTube. You can support with super chats, stickers during live streams, premieres, or super thanks after the fact. And don't forget, we have a Discord channel. The links are down there. Until next time, everybody, I need more coffee. It's early. I'm doing these two at like 6 o'clock in the morning today, so I'm immediately going to go away from this. I'm going to record the texture painting one. So, yeah, stick around for that one because it'll come later on in the week. In the meantime, have fun, everybody. Happy map making. Hopefully, you found this enjoyable. Until next time, stay safe.